We're now joined by Ian Watson, the head coach of the Huddersfield Giants. Ian, a fresh start in 2023. How has the pre-season been treating you?
Yeah, it's been awesome for us so far. Obviously, we're not playing until this round 2, so we've extended our pre-season a little bit on the back of that. But to be fair, everything's going in the direction that we want it to be. We've got our final hit out against Dewsbury this weekend, so we'll look forward to that, and then we'll start to taper down, ready for the Super League season.
As a head coach, what do you look for in pre-season? What do you look for at the players?
Just building on the systems and the process of getting people fit and ready and being available is the biggest one. Making sure you get through to the season with all you guys ready to go at the start is probably one of the biggest things that all coaches worry about, making sure you don't picking injuries up and things like that. So the big focus for us is keeping people healthy and getting the processes right to make sure we have a good season.
You lost the Bradford Bulls game to the adverse weather. The round 1 game against St Helens is postponed due to their involvement in the World Cup Challenge. Are you happy with everything?
Yeah, we've made the best use of what we could do. We lost the Bradford game, but we had a good training run against London the week after, which was beneficial for us. We've had a hit out in terms of fitness, hit out against obviously Castleford, which we had a tough week going into that as well, but so it probably didn't go the way we wanted it to go, but that's good. I've faced a little bit of adversity early on, it's good for us. Got a hit out against Dewsbury this week, and then we'll be good to go.
Is it fair to say this weekend's game against Dewsbury, you're probably going to use that game a little bit differently than you would have previously done so? Yeah,
completely differently than what we would have against the Castleford one. The Castleford was too early for us to put some guys out there, and plus on the back of the week we'd had that week, it was important that we made sure we looked after people's fitness and health more so than anything else. So this game will be more or less a full all out for us.
There's a lot of optimism around Huddersfield in 2023. That's on the back of some eye-catching signings. Eason Masters, Kevin De Guama, Harry Rushton, Nathan Peace, Jake Bibby, Jake Connor, Harvey Levitt. They all roll off the tongue rather
Jake
nice.
Connor will throw in there as well, won't they? So, yeah, the big one for us is ideally we didn't want to make too many changes on the back of the squad last year, and it was to tweak them, but circumstances have dictated that with losing a couple of players like Ricky Latelli and obviously Danny Levi going back home. So obviously we've had to make a few tweaks there, but we're really happy with the guys that have come in. We think we've recruited some real quality guys there to add to our system, which was important. We did that.
Eason Masters was one of the first ones to be announced, big marquee signing. What does he bring to Huddersfield?
He's got ability. He's one of them players where I seen him playing for West Tigers in around 2018 and 19, and then he made his debut for New Zealand, and he was a player who was tearing up the NRL at such a young age. He's had a couple of tough years in the NRL just of recently, but we believe we can get him back to his best, and if he can do that, mate, he'll be a phenomenal signing in Super League this year.
How challenging is it going to be for you to integrate all these players so you get that cohesion and continuity?
Yeah, that's the big thing with the pre-season. Obviously, only having some players back for 3 and 4 weeks now, that's the difficult thing, is trying to get them combinations. So we need to work on that as we go throughout the season, to be fair. But the quality of players and the quality of guys that are already in our system, I think they'll be able to fit together pretty seamlessly.
And you've got young players like Sam Alsall, Jack Bibby, Kieran Rush as well. What's the message to those young players?
They want to compete like the other first team, and they want to push themselves through. We had a lot of young guys play a lot of games last year, and the big thing that wins you a competition and that does well through a season is having a squad and having a quality squad. Them guys need to make sure that they're ready for when their opportunity comes, that they grasp it with both hands and then they keep hold of the shirt going forward.
You've got a couple of players at Bradford, George Roby, Fenton Rogers. Are you going to look at other clubs for other players in terms of perhaps not getting in your first sort of 21?
Yeah, we want to have a little look at the moment. We're just starting to have a little look now for Kieran Rush as well as we go round, because he's gone to that next level. We've seen what he's been doing in terms of level of training with us. He's been phenomenal, and we like that competition in training as well, so we want to kind of keep that, but we know we need to help develop him. So ideally we want to get him towards probably a championship club now, develop his career again, so if we do need to call him back, he's already ready to play again our first team.
Last season you got to the Challenge Cup final. Obviously you got to the grand final with Salford. On the back of last season, does that give you a little bit of taste of that success that you want, and you want to go one better in 23?
Yeah, 100%. Everyone wants to always go better as well, and while it's tough to do that, you've got to be consistent. The one thing we was last year was generally consistent as a team, although we probably had a disappointing way to finish it, but I thought the season overall the boys were outstanding, and the boys again will be looking to try and replicate that and perform at that kind of consistent level all year.
How important are people like Ken Davey to a club like Huddersfield Giants and yourself?
Yeah, massive not only for Huddersfield but massive for the game. Well, that's what we want. We want people in here who love the game and want to kind of invest their time and obviously the finances and things like that into the club and make the game grow. Obviously, hopefully getting like IMG on board now will help with that as well, and build the profiles, because I think it's not only like the profiles of probably players, it's profiles of people like Ken who run the club that are important to an organisation like ours, because they're the ones that keep this game going.
And just finally, Ian, on the back of the IMG announcement, what would you like to see happen?
Yeah, I think it's got to be the publicity side of it and the way they promote players, and not just promote the same players all the time. Make stars out of all of them, really, and give them a platform and get people interested, like kids for role models where they want to be them players, because Rugby League has a hell of a lot of role models and they live their lives the right way and they don't kind of cause major issues. Players, young people, to aspire to be that, I've got to follow them, and then in the way they go about things in terms of the detail in how they prepare as a professional, and we can make use of them aspects of their lives to create a better kind of well-being outside for people to look in and go, if I'm a sponsor, I want to be involved with that kind of person, because I think his product's great and I think the way he represents that is first class as well. So I think it's got to be all around kind of the publicity and the promotion of the game, but not only, like I say, just attracting the young kids. It's got to be sponsors and commercial and all that kind of thing where it's all got to tie in together.
Cheers, Ian. Thanks for your time.
Brilliant.